So, how can you tell when you're seeing a sexual narcissistic woman? Well, for one thing, she probably has her nails done. And she probably looks perfect. She's probably a 10, 7 or 7 to a 10. And you look at her and you think to yourself, yeah, I want me some of that. I'm gonna go get me a Porsche so I can get some flashy pussy. 'Cause that's what I want. 7 out of 10. I'll do with that. Can't get a 10 out of 10 because that's too narcissistic for me and my Porsche that I can't afford. In that Hollywood apartment that I can't afford. But I afford it. Like the cocaine that I should not be buying. Oh, no. Not drugs introduced into a relationship. That's a red flag. That's the biggest red flag right there. Hey, honey, I'm on fentanyl. Congratulations, let me love on you. I'm sorry I'm on fentanyl. I can't help it. I'm sick. Well, honey, I've got the cure for your ills. It's called a penis. No, it's called the narcissistic penis. You're not good enough on your own. You need some of this supply. I got some demand for some of that supply. Or I got some supply for some of that demand. It's right here in my mouth. I'm willing. Let me sex traffic myself. Because I have Cinderella syndrome and I think everything's gonna be okay with this creep. What can go wrong? He's from Burbank. Burbank, California. I hate that shit. I never want to grow up. I wish I never had to step foot in Burbank, California again. But I have a feeling I'm gonna have to. Especially when I sue those dumb fucks for not giving me my day in court. That's a painful realization that you get to be arraigned whether you have a public defender or not. Surprise! You don't need a public defender to be arraigned. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Oh, that's sexual narcissism. And then I started talking about those cops. Yeah, I had the right to remain silent, but I chose not to. I chose to be brain damaged bitch who let her mouth run a mile a minute talking about their little dicks. Their big clitorises. And all you've got's an overgrown clitoris. And for some reason, when it gets hard, your brain's quit working. How's that? How come all that blood going from your brain to your penis? That's that sexual narcissism right there. You think your dick's bigger than mine. Surprise. You're just a dumb woman. You're just a dumb woman. You can't help it. You can't help it. It is what it is. If still gonna love me, she's gonna say, oh no, Catherine Clay, you put those pictures of yourself out. How could you do that? You sexually blackmailed yourself. Yes, I did. Surprise. Surprise, I like dirty pictures of myself. I'm not that narcissistic, but I certainly like them photographs of seeing me suck on somebody's dick. Because I'm kinky like that. I'm kinky like that. And when you like something, and somebody can use a sexual addiction against you, that's when it's bad. That's when it's bad. When I never felt more worse about leaving a lover than when Kevin Kamikaze Karnensky said, you turned me into a pot-smoking sex fiend. And that made me feel bad. Because I didn't want to hurt anybody, ever. Ever. I don't like that. It's not cool. If you let somebody into your body, it should be a mutual transaction that is pleasurable for both people. Not, I have to turn off the lights because I can't stand to look at my partner. If that's the kind of relationship you're in, get the fuck out. It's not working. If you can't stand to look at your partner when you're having sex, don't. Get somebody else you can look at the whites of their eyes and be intimate with, so that you're always there with them and present. Because if they're out thinking, looking off into space, they're thinking of fucking somebody else, not thinking about fucking you. I know, I've been with one before. I know it meant a lot. I've been a woman for 50 years. My daddy looked at me when I was 17, still virgin, said if I had me one of them things, I'd use it to no avail, as he pointed at my cunt. That's my sexually narcissistic dad who used to fuck all secretaries, and he mandated the laws on sexual harassment. Do you know how confusing that was for me? Wait, you mean my dad's a total narcissistic cunt? But he's doing something good for other women. He sure as fuck didn't care when my sister was raped. Didn't do anything to that fucking little bastard. I did. I walked up to him and I said, give us those trophies back or I'm gonna cut your dick off. He was 6'4", I'm 5'8". Guess who got the trophies back? You got it. That bitch won't let me have it. And I got a mag for her. I don't have any pictures of me in Disney World where my face is so sunburnt I look Chinese. That's what a fucking moron my dad was. Because he was so narcissistic. He was always thinking about his dick and his supply and what he could do to feed it. He was so fucking repulsive. I swore to God that I would never treat anybody the way that he treated those women. Because I couldn't understand. Once they were gone, what the fuck? Oh, I'm just supposed to say fuck you and that's no closure? Because that doesn't work for children very well. That's a fuck you to a child. Say, not giving a child the chance to say goodbye to somebody that they were, intimately, when I say intimately, sitting down and having dinner with somebody, and them not talking, and then them not sitting across this way from your father, you having to sit from your father, you look exactly like your mother, so what do you think he's going through his mind as he's sitting across from his oldest daughter, his mid-daughter, because he had a stepdaughter too, his mid-daughter, and the mother's out of the picture, and he's not looking at his secretaries when they're watching TV. Everybody else can watch TV, and whose back is to the fucking TV? You got it. Somebody. Somebody's got to do this. Somebody's got to do that. Well, guess what? Here's that somebody. Somebody's got to take out the trash. Somebody's got to put some congressional term limits on Congress. Somebody's got to build some dormitories on that fucking White House lawn so somebody's can work for free for the government. Because there should be no lobbying at all. At all. We need to do something about this FDIC. What the fuck? How in the world could we let corporations take over we the people? Snip doggy dog, we the people. What the fuck are you dumbasses thinking? Letting corporations rule the world. Oh, that's a novel idea. Let's let Monsanto ruin the world. Why don't we get them in Russia, where I'm pretty sure they still have bees? You know, John Steinbeck went with Frank Capra. He treated his photographer. When I read through it, I was so disgusted. That fucking cocksucker went through Saint Stalin, Russia, and took photographs. So, and it was quite a feat to be carrying a camera back then, because they weren't small. They were kind of big. In the 50s, I think. Was it the 50s? I don't know. They weren't little, but they weren't small either, and neither was all the equipment that went with it. And that John Steinbeck treated Frank Capra like he was a fucking dumbass. And when you look at his photographs, he illustrated what that dumb cocksucker was trying to say. That dumb cocksucker couldn't take his own photographs. Guess who did? My question to Hillary Clinton when she came to the University of Louisville was, do you feel like you got the full effect of being in Estonia because you were on a diplomatic than if you had gone off and done it with just you and Chelsea? Do you feel like you got the full effect? Because I'm certain you did not get the Catherine Clay effect of going to Russia. Right, Cassius Clay. I know Cassius Clay's on this chart somewhere. I'm not gonna find him, but he's on there. He's on that entitled chart. He's on that chart somewhere, on that chart. Look at that. That was my little motto. And I made that crest for my book. Surprise, I put Sir John Clay in the back. Somebody else is gonna have to figure out how to get them lines to kick out. Because I wrote Catherine Elizabeth Clay all the way around it. Around that clay crest. And you have to see them lines underneath the crest of Sir John Clay. Because that's what he had, them lines. That's why we got Cassius Marcellus Clay, the Lion of Whitehall. We've got this lion cunt right here. Lying in her bed, thinking of what sexual narcissism and how it fucks up the world. How you should not date anybody plus or minus 15 years your age. Especially, you cannot date. I think we should keep girls virgins until they're 20, because they're not their vaginas aren't done forming until their 20s, but if they're teenagers and they want to fuck each other, that's their goddamn business. It's none of our business. Let them be teenagers. Jesus Christ, I wish I could have fucked as a teenager. Of course, I would have. I'm an addict. I fucking knew there was something wrong. I knew there was something rotten in Rotterdam when I was a teenager. That's why I never imbibed in teenage sex. I did not have teenage sex. Maybe I did. Maybe I was 19. And I was like 6 weeks away from turning 20. I think that might have been the case. I guess I did have some teenage sex. I did give some blowjobs, but after Bill Clinton was in office, I didn't count a blowjob. I took the sex survey, and I hadn't had sex yet. And because Bill Clinton got a blowjob, I didn't count a blowjob as sex. And the girl that gave me the survey got pissed off. It's just, that's okay. I don't count finger fucking either as me really being a prostitute, because I never let anybody's penis inside my body like that. I just wanted to know what it. I just like to see the look of the unicorn. She does exist. That's real. That's the kind of. I'm sorry, that's the kind of sexual narcissistic cunt I am. It's funny for guys to see a girl squirt because they don't think we can. And we've got every piece that they do. Every fucking piece they do. You all start off as women in the womb. You all got milk ducts. All you need is a shot. And then them titties are gonna start working. We should start with Alec Baldwin so he can start saying, "Look at these pepper bullets coming out of my titties. I don't want to go to jail. Let me feed my baby." I have to think of something funny. It's so tragic. It's so tragic. The world is tragic enough as it is. It's so hard to just make it through a day just being yourself. Trying to understand what the fuck? What the fuck with people? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what you have to sit here and you can't. I don't even give people a chance. They're bad from the start. I can already tell their narcissism. First of all, I get comfortable with their narcissism over mine because I know my sense of entitlement's around here somewhere. Look at that pedigree. Look at that. Look at that. From 1449, the colonial clays of Virginia and some of their descendants until 1943. That was even before my day was born. And my grandfather is right down here somewhere. He's down here somewhere. But, Ancestry did a much better job than whatever asshole had to sit there and write this shit out. Oh my God. Can you imagine the ancestry that went into that? That's almost as bad as those fucking Tudors, only worse. We're Clays. We're Marcus and royal family. Surprise. I'm sorry I had to live with the common people. I'm sorry I had to be a common person to get through my common narcissism, not feel entitled, not feel like I'm any more special than anybody else that's breathing, that wants to breathe, that wants to breathe. Children who have arachnoid cysts, and you can see it in an ultrasound, should not have. It's an abuse to have a child with a brain tumor, especially when they live. When they live. Because I've seen several of them born dead. And let me tell you, one bitch, last time got on my website to see on my Facebook, that stupid cunt didn't listen to me when I told her to have an abortion because they saw a 4-centimeter cyst in an fetus. 4 centimeters. You think about that. That's almost as big as its brain. And by the time it was done being born, because I'm sure they squeezed it out the birth canal, because they're so fucking stupid, they don't think about women's rights or children, and they forced that poor little child out of there. She said by the time it was done, it was 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. Can you imagine what that child's life was like as it was being squeezed through that hole before it died? I had to be excruciating. It's painful enough to be born. I know. My son was born. He was born on fentanyl. He did not have the birth trauma. He did not have the fright, Well, he was stuck in the NICU. And we got one of those phone calls where you get those phone calls like that asshole who told me if your mother lives through the night, she's gonna live. That's some sobering fucking news. We got that phone call about my son, and I was like, he almost killed me, that little bastard. It wasn't his fault. It was mine. Mine, because I decided to carry him. Because I felt guilty about being a Southern Baptist and seeing them dead babies when I was in college. That anti-abortion speech, that's a hate crime against women. That's all it is. You hate us so much that you are going to burden us with your fuck-ups, your bullshit, your narcissism at breeding, making sure that we saddle more women with problems that we can't solve because men will not take responsibility for their actions. Look at me be the entitled narcissistic cunt that I am, because I have let all kinds of races, creeds, and colors into my body because I'm 50 years old and I wanted to be very, very selective, very empathetic about what I wanted to believe in. And Google took away my first account. I'm sure they're going to end up finding it eventually so we can put it back online. One of my favorite emails was when Cassius was sucking on my toes and those cocksuckers took some of the videos and shit that I did not save on my hard drive because I uploaded it to Picasa thinking, it's always going to stay up here. Then I got that, you better pay $5 a month or you ain't going to keep your Google account. And I'm telling my husband, what the fuck is this? And he's like, ignore it, it's not real. Lost my Google account. They thought because I was doing I'm squishing your balls, Cassius was watching TV in front of me and he was just naked after a bath. And I didn't, he's just being his natural self. And so I did I'm squishing your balls. And they thought that and then he had a big bruise on his butt. And I didn't know how he got it. was like I'm squishing a bruise on your butt. Boy, you would have thought I was fucking raping my kid. They sent the Long Beach PD after me. They sent DCSF. That's my first encounter with DCSF. I should not have been a mother, but I am. What a conundrum there. Can't abort them once they're living. Certainly would have loved to have had my girl that I had to have an abortion with because my son has mistreated me so egregiously that I do not even want to be a mother anymore. But I named him Cassius, which means vain, and I knew exactly what kind of little Cassius asshole he was gonna be because he's a clay. He's a clay. He can't help it. He's one of them narcissistic cocksuckers. He's part of this entitled family. Oh, you have a sense of entitlement. Oh, giddy willikers. I wonder where it came from. I don't understand how all these educated people who started this country, why should I feel entitled at all? I don't know. Why should I feel entitled? Why should I feel more entitled than Donald Trump to be president? And Joe Biden, who is too stupid to use presidential edicts. Why am I so transparent and the empress of the internet because some dumb cocksucking computer narcissistic engineer called himself the emperor and I decided to call myself oneopinionatedbitch.com into the new world. This is me flying like Superman, not Hitler. Please, please, please do not confuse the two. I love Jews. Believe me, I love some dirty Jews. I don't like to eat cake. I like that Mark Zuckerberg who's gonna get some real American justice, let me tell you. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your goat hay. Let's see how long that hay is gonna get. Because you're going to jail for stealing and monetizing one of my ideas. One of my ideas. You took somebody you should not have taken ideas and turned it into your idea and then wanted to suck your own dick in the social network and say, look at me, I'm just a dumb fucking computer programmer and I do not know what I'm doing because I do not have the vision. What was my choice word? Oh, what? I can still see it on Catherine.Sex. I'm losing my sight, but I'm not losing my vision because I have a brain tumor in between my optic nerves. Surprise, it's certainly not some dirty fucking asshole. Some cake who likes to eat himself. So sorry I did not ask to be part of this family. I did not ask to be different. I did not have to ask to look inward to realize that we brought these people over here. We brought them over here. We raised them up. We brought them. We gave them clothes. We made sure that they was as proper as we could pop. Not everybody. Slavery was a different economy back then. You gotta understand. You're all slaves right now. Look at the way the economy is. You aren't free to go do what you want to do, which is what we should all be able to do with our own digital currency, with who we are and what we're carrying behind us, not what we did, some of what we carry behind us and some of what we carry ahead of us. And there aren't enough people out there to understand that it took a slaver to bring us slaves over here to develop a country. It certainly wasn't a dumb fucking cunt named Donald Trump who just knows the art of the deal. I didn't even have to read that dumb fucking ghost book. I know that dumb cocksucker can't write his own books. He's too fucking stupid. He can't even make a sentence. He doesn't even know when the Revolutionary War versus a Civil War was. He's so fucking dumb. He doesn't know when Andrew Jackson served. I know, that fucking cocksucker stole the election from Henry Clay. Damn asshole. I hate that militant ass. That fucking cocksucker. Those narcissists. They knew what they were doing, just like Abraham Lincoln coming out that goddamn penny and that $5 bill for lying to Cassius Clay, saying, oh, you can go campaign for me. You go campaign for me. You can be my vice president. Oh, look at me, I'm married to Mary Todd, and she loves you more than she loves ice cream, because ice cream hasn't been invented yet. But she loved her some Cassius Clay, because she known him since she was a teenager, so she knows what he's like. Hey, you ain't getting your ass in my fucking White House now. You go be ambassador to Russia. Go get us some of that money. Oh, but before you go over there, we've been hearing these whispers about how Washington's gonna be sacked by these rebels, and what we gonna do? Cassius Clay, what we gonna do? I don't know. Maybe we should go to these hotels and find their costumes and arrest them. Let's go to this first hotel. Let's see if we can find some costumes, and let's get some rebels under our belt. Let's go to this second hotel. Let's see if we can find us some costumes like them dumb fucks that Donald Trump's getting all armed up. So at least now we know what they look like. At least they're obvious this time. At least they're not disguised like the rest of us. I'm just glad I done arrested one hotel, done arrested two. Let me go over to this third hotel. What? All them cockroaches left. Well, let's go to this fourth and fifth hotel. Just make sure them cockroaches all left. So we can keep Washington from being sacked by them rebels. Oh, I'm Cassius Clay. I'm an inward lover, and I'm an asshole, and I did not claim my second family, which is why Muhammad Ali had a slave name to throw away. Too bad this is not my Xperia, where you can read Clay on my hand, and it's not backwards. Too bad. You don't want to be a slave anymore. Go and get your K tattoo in black and white. Jesus Christ. We do not need to be slaves anymore. To an economy that's not working, we need to do something with the FDIC so that Chase Manhattan does not exist. Because I certainly want to take all that Nazi gold away from those cocksuckers. You think Chase Manhattan just popped up after 1945? Surprise! Yes, I have a dirty shirt, and I probably worn it 2 or 3 days. Who knows at this point? I've been thinking too hard. It's hard. It's hard being me. It took me 7 years to have stupid septic. I mean, if you think about septic, think about having COVID for fucking 7 years and not being able to get rid of it. That's how bad it was. That's how bad my life was. Having a writing subject, you can go back and look at some of the videos that I did, and you can see how cloudy my eyes are. I don't know how you can start to tell when somebody is narcissistic. Anyone who tries to get you to do drugs is not your friend. You have got to realize that from the get-go. If you are going to experiment with drugs, those people that you are doing drugs with do not give a fuck about you. You are just one in a million. My dad brought that shit into this country. How do I know? Because on Facebook, one of his fucking treasurers or one of his money launderers got in touch with me, and the asshole, my grandfather that's on this fucking thing, got him out of trouble. He should have gone to jail for what he was doing. He shouldn't be using a law license. He's lucky he's redeemable. He's lucky he's not redeemable in the eyes of his daughter, the one he made a sister and the mother of his dynasty. He'll never be redeemed in these eyes. He can just be behind me as my vice president, 'cause I don't ever want to see the whites of his eyes. But I need my daddy. I need my daddy to do what he's been doing so we can make drugs legal and we can use people's addictions. People have different kinds of nervous systems. If you're going to get into drugs, we need to make them safe and legal. And it's nobody's goddamn business if you're on them. And they need to be working with drug counselors not to end their addiction, but how to work their addiction into the population. We need to figure out how, like my roommates, they do not, I have to take diazepam to calm my nervous system down. Well, she says when she takes it, it makes her hyper and clean up. We should try and outlaw benzodiazepams, but that's going to be about as easy as fucking outlawing fentanyl. And I should know. I was on that shit 17 fucking years of my life. 17 years. Donald Trump used to rape his wives. He raped all of them. And he raped some of Tiffany's teenage friends. That's why she couldn't even standing next to him. She hated all her little girlfriends. Oh, Donald Trump. I know, I had some of those girlfriends looking at my daddy. Oh, your daddy smells so good. Oh, he's good looking. Oh, and too bad you didn't know he drives a Porsche. Yes, my daddy drives a Porsche too in Kentucky. And this is 30 years ago, when it was illegal for him to be drug trafficking, but his daddy, for some reason, was able to be Commonwealth Attorney, which is a higher lane than being a stupid Supreme Court Justice, that's for damn sure. Because once you're Commonwealth Attorney, you're even higher than the governor, because you're the one that's running the state. Surprise. Surprise. We need to make Supreme Court Justices Commonwealth Attorneys. All the attorneys of the state need to be Supreme Court Justices. That's just the way it's got to be. And then we need to make a third of the Supreme Court be Native Americans, because this is their country. And I'm getting goosebumps. They have the right to police themselves, and how we should evolve into a country where they have the freedoms that we try to imbibe in our lives. The freedoms to be Americans. Fuck yeah. And it's not our country. And if you're white, you can take your might and fucking suck a dick. You have no right to be here. You're fucking European. You have no say-so. This is not your country. And apparently, you all need someone with 2 brain tumors to lead this country because you all cannot think. I've had to think with these fuckers in my brain, and look how good I'm doing. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at Greta be part of my cabinet because I need some fucking little cunt who bleeds, who knows what it's like to be called, oh, she bleeds, she can breed. I need that little cunt in my cabinet. Oh well, I'm sure she's been called a cunt before. If she hasn't been, to her face, guess what? I'm gonna call her my little cunt. My little cunt. Because somebody has to be my little cunt. Certainly not my son, because he's got stuck with a large clitoris. My son hates me right now because I have been militant and I broke him down, and I hope I made him able to cry like a baby whenever he wants. Because before he left this house, he could not blubber. He could not cry about his daddy dying. He could not cry about anything. I made sure that bastard cries. I made sure I broke him. I broke him like my daddy broke me. Like a drill sergeant. Like Charlemagne. Like my mother's family. They was the watchers on the wall, the waits. I'm 2 people. I done seen what John Depp did to defame that Amber Heard. And it's the other way around, and it's going to be painful for that John Depp. But we're going to see Rapunzel, let down your goat hay. Because he's going to get some long hair himself for serving some time in prison for what he did to her. Somebody's going to start paying attention to this somebody. It's going to be a lot of somebodies because, goddamn, I didn't even realize yesterday that I had 160,000 people that checked out one of my videos. Surprise, Catherine Clay. Look at you go. Go, Catherine. Go, Catherine. It's your birthday. You're not a narcissist. You're an empath. But you're entitled. You're lucky. You're just lucky. You're just lucky. You're lucky like this little bitty puppy dog. You're still a stormy puppy dog. And that mean young Cassius Clay. My little pearl of wisdom I've been spinning for years. I had to put more pressure on that little bitty Malibu grain of sand because he had to be my choker. I'm sorry it took me a while to figure out that all the signs were pointing to me. There she is. We know she's around here somewhere. That fact, saggy tiggity bitch, that's finally dependable. Just not as dependable as she could be because her panties aren't tight enough. Her depends aren't tight enough. Her depends need to be a little bit tighter because they're a little bit loose. And they ain't as dependable as they could be. She might have to put on a diaper when she goes. She might have to put a diaper on a diaper. But that won't work. I mean, maybe they have them big old Why do guys like to shit in a diaper? I hate pissing and shitting on myself, but I have these brain tumors and I can't help it. I better stop this now. My roommate says you gotta do a couple of YouTube videos of you doing your stand-up comedy so we can string it all together. I'm like, I got the perfect reel I've been working on for a long time at Flappers Comedy Club. The last time I was up there, my grandfather used to talk about how them 7-year-old N-words. A 7-year-old N-word boy knows better than that. But I'm a 20-year-old woman. How does a 7-year-old boy know better than me? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand you. You don't make sense. A 7-year-old boy is smarter than me, and he's black. And you're supposed to. You love them black boys. I don't understand you. What are you saying? A 7-year-old N-word knows better than me. I don't hear you talk like that to your friends. What are you saying? Well, I'm sure glad. I'm glad I got to grow up, and them 7-year-old N-word boys did too, because I sure don't like the idea of sucking on some 7-year-old N-word's cock, because he was 55 and still not over it from when it happened to him as a child. Think about that. Think of the narcissism and how kids are groomed. How easy we are groomed. I'm kind of glad my dad is the one who molested me. He didn't mean to. Don't get me wrong. He did mean to in some ways. He didn't know the family violence. He didn't understand that. He didn't study it. He studied how to be a military man. He went to a military high school. He was such a bastard. I wish my other uncle didn't have to go there. He'd probably still be alive. He was an alcoholic. And I'm sure he was raped when he went to Baylor High School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Like my dad. I love my dad. He's just an old fucking cocksucker who can't accept his big old saggy titty movie station in life, that he's just a dumb old woman, and he can't say he's sorry for what he did to his own daughter. I'm sorry, honey, that I said to you I hated you for looking like your mother when you was 15 years old. You have nothing to do with how you look. I love how you turned out what you did with your big bad self when I wasn't looking at you. Look at what you did. Look at how you turned out. Ты говоришь по-русски очень хорошо, лучше, чем я. Я никогда буду говорить по-русски, потому что я абсолютно дурочка. Дурочка, which means idiot, as a girl. That's my dad. He's a durichka. There's a book. One of my favorite stories was written by Pushkin called Return of the Prodigal Daughter. And Dunya comes home. She's got her dynasty strapped on her back. And here, Daddy, look what I brought home. I brought you home your own Cassius. You had your Annie. You had your Catherine Elizabeth. I wish I was Catherine Curry Clay. That would have been cool. But I'm still going to change that Karen Cassius Clay. You're going to be damn sure about that. Karen Cassius Clay. That's going to be his name. Don't wear that. Your mom really changed her name? Yeah, she did. It sucked. I had to change it back to what I wanted it to be. I changed it away from Cassius to Joshua Gerard Harris II. Because that's exactly who I act like. Not too empath. Not too empaths with narcissistic tendencies. Too bad, too bad. Sorry, boy, I had to break you the way that I knew how. I'm glad you can cry now. Not crying is the hardest thing in the world to do. It's wrong. It's wrong what your grandparents are trying to manipulate you into believing. Hopefully your mind is strong enough that you can Yoda it and feel the force. You can still feel the force of all these hundreds of thousands of people coming your way, asshole. Because they're all going to be Cassius. Oh, Cassius. I'm not putting my brain to your book, Mommy. Oh, yes, you are, you little prick. You're going to read that first diary for your mother for Audible. That's what you're going to do so you can get to know your mother. That's your punishment. You want to get back in my good graces? You want to see the whites of my eyes? You ever want to celebrate another birthday with me? My birthday first, and then maybe yours. We'll talk about that in the future. We'll see where this entitled cunt is. Oh, where's Heather Rachi? She sure as fuck isn't anywhere on this fucking board. She's not entitled. She certainly, her family was too fucking stupid to be lawmakers. That's for damn sure. They certainly don't have the imagination to be anything but somebody who can throw clay and use somebody else's platform to get her point across. Too bad. I'm going to take my fucking Facebook and put it on Dear Demented Diary and say, see, now y'all understand. Now y'all understand what that fucking cocksucker stole from me. Once you see it all put onto my website, you're going to be like, oh my God. He monetized her idea. He took every idea and just coded it. Because he's a dumb fucking slave. And I'm not. We were the slavers. I'm sorry. I did not mean to come from the Nordic family. I came down from Wales. I know we were Nords. Because we got them violent tendencies. And I fell in love with the Nordic god. Joshua Harris knew he was Norse. He knew it. He felt it in his blood just like I felt it in mine. Ooh, he made my heart beat faster. Too bad he had to rape me in my sleep, and I still loved him. You want to talk about sexual narcissism? That man, my body was addicted to his. That is some hardcore narcissism. Right there. When your body gets addicted, you're addicted to somebody. You're addicted to them more than you're addicted to your fucking phone. That's how fucked up it is.